Hello pilots and welcome back to another X-Wing video brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. As always, my name is Phil and today we have another run of the Swarm mode that we have put together with Ben K actually joining us on the table to see just how many TIE fighters he can actually take out in 12 turns and how long we stick it out for, because there's a lot of TIE fighters, it takes quite a while. But joining me to, as always, cheer on the Rebels, we have...
The Rebel fan, it's James. Hello.
Hey James, welcome along. Plenty of Rebels, 25 points of them in fact, some really cool characters. Coming up against a lot of TIEs. I think if I remember rightly, it's 14 TIE fighters and a TIE Advance are available on the Imperial side. So interesting to see how far Ben gets through them. We obviously saw Wes give it a go the other day and he did very well, I will say, for the first person to try it. So that was very interesting. But before we get too far into the action, did you want to let us know exactly what Ben has squeezed into 25 points?
So facing this gauntlet of various TIEs, we have Corran Horn in the X-Wing with custom missiles, R3 Astromech and S-Foils. We've got Gavin Dreis with Predator, R4 Astromech and S-Foils, also in the X-Wing. In a third X-Wing, we've got Wedge Antilles with Outmaneuver and the S-Foils. In E-Wing, we've got Gavin Darklighter with fire control system, plasma torpedoes and an R3 Astromech. And then we've got Airen Cracken in, blanking on what the little one is at the moment. What's that one?
Z95.
Z95, thank you. With the fire control system and homing torpedoes. And then, you can't tell me on the name of this one, Esege, you said?
I normally just pronounce it Esege.
Esege Tuketu?
Yeah, that'll do.
With Perceptive Copilot, an advanced slam, and that is in the K-Wing.
One of my favourite ships.
Also, in preparation for this, I brought up the Wikipedia page for a lot of these, and the K-Wing design there is actually pictured.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, I think it might still just be the artwork from the card in the game, but I like that they've got the 3D model changed on Turbo Simulator. That's cool.
I do, one of the things I do like about TTS is if you have a named pilot in a ship and that ship has a slightly different colour scheme, it will be that most of them, not 100% sure if it's all, but most of them have actually got that. For instance, if you do Darth Vader in the Defender, it's all black with like some red highlights. That's really cool looking. And a few of the other ships as well. I think some of the X-Wings actually have their different squadron marks. If you've got Luke, he's actually, if you look closely, it's actually red 5 for Luke.
Nice.
Which is, again, really cool.
So, starting off, seems very heavily in Ben's favour, but do you want to run through how this game mode runs for people who might not have seen the previous one, and any changes that have happened?
Yeah, so those of you that didn't watch the first one, do highly recommend that. Great game, gives you an overview of what's happening, but essentially, Ben has been given 25 points to spend using the XWA points to build a list of any faction to come up against waves of TIE fighters. So at the moment, it looks very unbalanced with 25 points versus 8 points of Academy TIE fighters. Should one of those Academy TIE pilots go down, they will be replaced by another TIE fighter going up through the named pilots with better upgrades and hopefully more chance of surviving against these rebels. Should Ben make it to turn 8, or he takes out all of the TIE fighters before then, there is a boss wave of Darth Vader, Mythal Mauler, and Backstabber will turn up, flying in a wing together. Ben does have a little bit of an advantage though. On the board you will see some objective markers. Those will activate randomly from the third turn every other turn and give a power-up to his ships. It could either be another hull point, another shield, or a charge for one of their upgrades. Now, if they do get a charge and they don't have a charge available, we will just re-roll that for a shield or hull. A couple of tweaks we did from the first game is that we have now static placement for those objectives rather than trying to roll where they're going to turn up. And also, when reinforcements come into the Empire, we will randomly roll to determine on which board side they come on, whether it's the Empire side or the Rebels. So that way it's a little bit harder for Ben to anticipate where they're coming on from. And also for the Empire player, he can't just go, well, here is definitely the best place to have them. I'm going to come in here. So that is basically an overview of this Swarm mode. It's just going to keep going on. There's 63 points of Empire ships that Ben has to work his way through.
63, there is already a casualty.
Yes, we have an Academy TIE pilot down, which, given that there are 6 ships pointing at it...
I mean, Ben has taken probably the most solid joust I think I've seen in a very long time. And it's a 3 health Academy TIE pilot. It wasn't going to go well for him.
Yeah, I mean, Ben has got a lot of things on there that are going to make this much more favourable for him.
So looking at his list, he's got quite a few. He's got a couple with R3 Astromech. He's got fire control systems. He's got a few munitions. I wonder if he's going to try and save munitions for the boss wave, or if he's going to try and pick off kind of any target he can with it.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one. Obviously, yeah, you've got plasma torpedoes, homing torpedoes, and whilst that can be fun to pop off an Academy TIE pilot with, probably not your best use of it. Probably going to want to wait till you get sort of like Wampa and Dark Curse coming in later on. But R3 Aspect Fire Control System is an absolutely winning combo.
I also like Corran having cluster missiles. I think against the Swarm, that's ideal.
It is very good. And on the subject of Corran, he is actually quite an interesting one to have in that X-Wing. Those of you who were paying attention at the beginning of the game probably saw all of the rebels locking Corran Horn. That's because when he chooses a target, he can move locks from that target, from himself to the target. So everyone got an early lock-in onto Corran for some absolute action efficiency, and then they just got passed on to that TIE fighter just to really cement that down.
I like that as like a wing leader ability.
It's very good, especially on your I-5 as well. The only one who doesn't really benefit from that is Wedge, but he's Wedge and he's got Outmaneuver.
It's Wedge.
Yeah. I mean, he basically just says...
down the all-in on outmaneuvering the opponent with Outmaneuver.
Yeah. Which, you know what, is actually a good idea, especially against TIE fighters.
I mean, because there's so many on the board that you'll probably find someone in your arc that doesn't have you in their arc.
Yeah. And 3 defense dice is nothing to sort of like turn your nose up at. I mean, look at this. Blue is still at the moment. He's taken an absolute battering. I think that was... Let's have a look. Is that Gavin shooting at the moment, I believe? Yes, so Gavin's having a shot. Another thing that's actually really cool with this, and I'm not going to lie, I borrowed the idea from Ben. Gavin Darklighter's ability. If the defender is in Gavin's arc, a friendly ship can then change one of their hits to a crit.
I mean, yeah, if you're running extra points, you've got more ships on the board, you get more effect out of that.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've just lost tie number 2. So, not an unexpected start, to be honest, especially again, as you're coming up against so many rebel ships. Looks like we have no shots from the Empire, so a perfect turn so far for Ben. But we've got two more coming in. We have an ISB Jingoist and a Black Squadron Ace joining the fray.
Starting in the same, the usual spawn side.
Yeah, so we rolled it
behind their friends.
Yeah, probably, to be honest, not a bad place for them. Although, if it had come in on the Empire side, it would have been nice to pop them just behind, because there's no devices, and whilst these guys can turn around, it could be quite nice to sort of bait them a little bit. But I'm wondering how long Ben is going to keep his ships all together, because if they're running around in a block like that, that is going to be quite...
I mean, I think that the four down the bottom can stay fairly comfortably together. It's the K-Wing and who's that Wedge who will probably remain separate. And
in all honesty, Wedge is probably happy just to go it alone a bit. He's an I6. He's going to be quite fast.
Here to get out of the way.
Wouldn't surprise me, because right now he's not in a great spot. K-Wing not having the best dial in the world. Slam does help it though. And there we go, we do see the slam. I did find out, interestingly, last night, the K-Wing and U-Wing have very similar dials, barring two different maneuvers. The U-Wing has a 4 forward and a stop, but the K-Wing doesn't. And I only found that out because I thought...
Is that literally the only difference in their dials?
So as well, some of the two banks of blue on the U-Wing, but for actual moves, those are the only two different positions on there. Because I had a great game the other night in store, which was fantastic. Thought I'd packed the U-Wing dial, turned out I packed the K-Wing dial. Luckily, they weren't too different, and I said to my opponent, if I'm going to do one of the two moves that aren't on the dial, I will either write it down or I'll tell one of the other guys on the other table. So he was happy to do that, because otherwise I'd have had one ship less.
Yeah.
Oh, Wedge going aggressive there.
Well, he's not going to get his outmaneuver, but he will probably still do a lot of damage, to be honest.
Yeah.
We've got the block of 4 sticking together, although they are facing that... Is that a rock or debris in the middle there?
That is a debris in the middle there. But I think, again, the maneuverability of those ships, they can easily sort of peel round that and come in. Wedge is in a bit of an awkward position, but they've also got barrel rolls, so they could just go up, barrel roll across.
Well, that's what you want to see from Wedge.
Yeah, don't like that. Oh, yes, natural evades for yellow. He is taking a crit. That looks like a direct hit to me. It is a direct hit. They won't show up on the overlay on the left-hand side, because, as you might be able to appreciate, I had to very manually do that over the course of the hours. So the crits for the Empire will pop up down in the bottom left-hand side of the board to show you what they did get. But yeah, the Rebel side is all normal overlay at the same time, much easier.
Now these upgrades, they're going to appear at the start of the next turn?
Yeah, so in the system phase of the planning phase of the following turn, any replacement TIE fighters will come in. Now we'll have a link in the description that has the rules on how to play this game mode, and also the list of TIE fighters on there. If you're looking at that list, basically the way you play it is they're all in columns, and when the one in the top column goes down, you literally go down to the next one. So 4 columns of TIE fighters, which we have on the other table next to this one, just waiting to come in. So when a TIE fighter goes down, you'll see me get rid of those cards with a massive pile of dead ships, which is getting bigger by the turn, and you'll see new cards just be dropped in. So doing this on TTS has been quite nice. It's a lot easier to manage. I do want to try it in store, but it would be...
It's a lot of models.
Well, you could probably get away with only having like 6 or 7 TIE fighters and swapping out, but you'd probably need an assistant.
Yeah, it's a bit time consuming to have to keep doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, as you say on here, you've got all the other models set up to just grab. So
Yeah, I don't have enough TIE fighters to actually be able to do this in person. If we were to have every single model there ready to go, I'd have to borrow some. And I know this is the second Swarm mode, and both of them have been Rebels. We've designed this that it doesn't have to be Rebels.
but thematically, it's quite nice to see Rebels v Empire.
Yeah, thematically,
X-Wings v TIE Fighters.
Yeah.
Whereas we were going through the pilots just before recording, it was like, oh, it's a decent Rogue Squadron.
Exactly, like great Rogue Squadron pilots all together, really nice. That was us determining, using a D10, which objective
middle one
has it. So the middle one's nice.
Quite nicely for Wedge to go and grab.
Yeah, so he could get a shield back, could get another hull. We'll have to see. And we see a Black Squadron Ace on the right-hand side of the board. He's spawned over that side. Not a bad position to sort of intercept a little bit there. Giving Ben a little bit of a choice of, do I just stay the course and go against the three sort of central and right, or do I bump?
That was a very fast move from the Academy pilot. I wonder if that's going to cause Ben some formation problems.
I mean, if that causes a bump, that could be big. That could be really good for me there. Like, sort of get rid of some of that action economy, keep that Academy tie around. Because again, obviously I'm aiming to try and take out as many of these ships as possible and just stop Ben from scoring as high as he can is my aim. So Ben is obviously looking to score as many points as possible. Oh, cheeky one forward there. How?
That's not good for the Empire.
No, that's very bad for the Empire. Gavin with a range 1 bullseye shot.
Oh yeah, he's got Predator as well, hasn't
he? Yep. Predator is very good. And Garven obviously allowing someone else to get a stress to take an action as well. So very, very helpful. A lot of these pilots, Corran, Gavin, like to work together.
I mean, one of the strengths of the Rebel faction in this entire game is that they're very good at helping each other out, and having more ships on the board just means that there is a lot more of that synergy going on.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And then you've got Esege as well, who, if he's close enough, can pass focus tokens. So Perceptive Copilot is a great.
Yeah, I assume that ability is not limited to once per round or anything.
No, it's as long as if you've got a focus, you can.
That's
I
good.
think it's range 0 to 2 though. You have to be. And I'm just going to double check that.
Decent. I feel like if it was range 3, that would be too good.
Yeah. Like Cassian Andor being able to take a stress off at range 3, that's very good.
Obviously, you can pass during defending or attacking.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Very, very solid. I mean, Perceptive Copilot is taking up a lot of the points for that, especially if you want to put slam, that's all of your points gone. But
the advanced means you can get that double focus.
Yeah. Ooh. That was, I'm going to assume, Torren there, because Wedge does not have a shot by the look of it.
Also, do we know what power-up Wedge picked up?
Looks like it was a hull point. He's up to 5 hull.
Oh, yes, good spot. Okay.
So yeah, and in fact, you can see we actually spawned the hull upgrade above his cards.
That's nice for him.
Yeah. So that is another damage going through. The question is, at what point will I have to reshuffle my entire damage deck back in? Because it's starting to look a bit thin.
I guess what is it, 33 cards in the deck? Is that right?
Yeah. 33 cards in the deck. I've lost
like 11 ships in.
Yeah. I've lost 3 TIE fighters already, and some of them took a couple of extra hits.
I'm not sure, yeah, you're dealing out some extras in it, and it might not. I think you'll have to do it at least before the boss wave comes.
Yeah.
If Ben
as I
keeps
said-
up his pace of destroying ties.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing pretty good so far. He's got at least one tie, essentially one a turn since he started shooting. And if Red survives this, I will be very impressed because he's got some very angry rebels facing right at him. That's Red then.
Yep.
Oh no, he's got the focus there. Sorry, missed the focus. And even like watching it back, I missed the focus. Red is actually still alive.
For now.
For now. I mean, that is one of the few downsides of TTS. It's sometimes the angle, sometimes you can't just sort of like quickly move around the table like you can in real life, but there are so many advantages, it's crazy. Ooh, the evades are starting to come alive for the Empire. Looks like that was, I believe, a cluster missile. Yeah, cluster missile from Corran there, so it went into red and yellow.
Ah, okay.
Cluster missiles and R3 Astromech is a great combination if those two ships are in the right position. So you can have them both locked, which is just...
You can reroll the second missile, can't you?
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. I like cluster missiles, but I find the second ship is always either just out of range or just out of arc, so I can't pull off the double shot, and it's always a little bit tedious, but that is Red down.
So we are entirely on the second wave of Empire now.
We are indeed.
We will be when the next one spawns in. There he is.
Which will be another ISB Jingoist. So we'll have 2 ISBs and 2 Black Squadrons. So we'll see how they get on.
Yeah,
and see if the other 2 can still keep it going.
Oh, he's the one way at the back there, okay.
Yeah, so we've got Gavin now. And then it will be my chance to get, I think, like my second shot of the game so far.
Yeah, I was just looking at like Ben's health. I think you've taken 2 shields off of Wedge, and that's it.
And that's it so far.
And you got health back from the upgrade.
Yeah.
So far, not going too great for the Empire.
No, and again, get the focus to not die and then get a fueling direct hit.
Oh god.
Oh wow.
Stop, he's already dead.
That is unfortunate. Already starting to move into wave 3 of ships. So
but now we're getting to named pilots.
Yes. I do have a couple of shots though. And yes, this is a named pilot, and I'm just trying to have a look and see.
It's fine. They'll show up eventually. And then now
up.
we've got some shooting, and I feel like you take the unobstructed range 3 into Gavin, which you are.
Yeah.
2 red versus 4 green. Let's do this.
Yeah, he also doesn't. I don't think he's in range of 2 hits.
I mean, that's pretty much as good as you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're saying he's probably out of range for Esege's ability.
Yeah. Not needs it with those evades.
Okay. I mean, with 4, I was expecting it to dodge, but even then, like 3 evades is nice to hear as a rebel player.
And here we go. Switching targets into Garven here. Yeah. If you've got a range 1, where you haven't got it, and Wedge is obviously obstructed, take it. That hurts.
So you're here playing as the Empire. Are you finding that you're playing a bit more recklessly because you know that they'll just upgrade?
To a degree, I'm
Or are you treating it more like a kind of normal game, and if they happen to die, then you go, okay, well, now this person comes in?
Yeah, I would say I'm not going full reckless and just being like, I'm just going to throw them in there and hope. I'm still obviously trying to do my normal sort of loose tactical standards of I want to get good positions, I want to try and have the right actions, combine pilots to get multiple shots, but at the same time knowing that if a ship does go down, it's not the end of the world. It does make it a little bit more freeing. Trying to come up against that block though is tough. Very different approach to this than what Wedge did in game 1. So the added difficulty of not knowing where my new ships are going to come in as well does weirdly make it more challenging for the Empire. But again, also the same for the Rebels. They know that they can't just hang out down at the Empire board and go, well, you're going to turn up eventually. I can just K-turn and shoot you, or just keep it a nice
Yeah,
spot.
you can't just grab a bunch of turrets and just run up and down that line, picking them off as they spawn in. Thing. So you have a new pilot. You have Magna Tolvin. Do you want to do a run through of how they work?
Yeah, so Magna Tolvin, she's got targeted computer, marksmanship, and yes, you read that right. She has a heavy laser cannon on there.
Yeah, I do like a heavy laser cannon.
It is really cool. And yes, I know marksmanship, heavy laser cannon don't work together, but if I've got a range 1 shot, can't use heavy laser cannon, I've got marksmanship, which is
I'm
quite
guessing
fun.
you had like 1 point left over anyway.
Yeah, it's very marksmanship 2 now, but yeah, I just wanted to make it as efficient as possible. But Magna, while you have 2 or fewer stress tokens, you can perform white actions even while stressed. After you gain a stress token, you may perform a white action if able. So really fun pilot. Came in the Hot Shots and Aces 2 pack. Just good fun. So giving a little bit more firepower there.
You set her up just behind the K-wing.
Yeah. See, if I can get that bullseye, heavy laser cannon.
I'm not entirely sure you might just clip the bullseye in it.
Yeah, it's real close. I'd like to get that, and I've got a little bit of a pincer movement with ISB, so
yeah. Also, Ben's formation has mostly broken up. We've still got Gavin and Corran kind of flying together, but apart from that, it's all over the place now.
Yeah, it has broken up, which is very much, if you think of it like Battle of Yavin, they all sort of flew in formation and then they quickly had to scatter. So it's always difficult to keep something in formation for very long, and you've got to take into account this is currently turn 5. So in a normal game, if you look, you can just see the timer that's running in the background because it automatically starts. In a normal game, there'd only be 22 minutes left at this point, and we're on turn 5. So a lot going on.
There's just a lot more actions to get through, isn't there?
Yes, a lot more action to get to, a lot more maneuvers.
Wedge is taking a shot on the yellow Black Squadron Ace.
And I like those guys. Yeah, I like that.
Trying to work out what options he's got for a reroll on these 3 blanks.
No, he's actually moved on now to, I believe that's Corran. Yes, because he's just used the...
Oh, she's using it green. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's not... No, actually, sorry, that was Airen range 1 into yellow because it's fire control system getting the solitary reroll there.
I saw the 3 dice and assumed it was an X-Wing.
Yeah, you don't normally, like, Z95's normally only 2 dice, but getting that range 1 is quite handy. Luckily, it's the only thing that's really going to be able to have a chance at yellow. So he's basically got now free reign to have some shots into most likely... Oh, I don't think he catches Corran. It might have to be into Gavin unless he wants to go for that long range.
I mean, if you've got a range 1...
Take the range 1.
But I think first up, we do have Corran.
Yeah, so Corran is going range 3
That
into...
focus.
Yeah. And there's your Gavin. Oh, I think gonna have to spend that focus just to only take a crit. Which is structural damage.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Gavin's
it's a good
ability
job the
is
Wedge is already shot.
really doing some numbers here. We've seen some pretty nasty crits.
I mean, the combination of Gavin is fantastic. I mean, I would be scared if you had Gavin and marksmanship on ships around here, because it would just be, oh yeah, that's 2 hits. No, it's 2 crits. Would be very, very scary. Checking to see, is Esege in range for the focus spend, I think it was.
I mean, you got enough focuses, may as well.
Yeah. This is still going into green. Will ISB be going down right now?
I like that choice from Ben just to get the bonus from Gavin still.
It's, yeah, definitely worth taking.
I mean, even there's a disable power regulator. I mean, it's overkill, but you know what? If that was the first crit, that still would have been a real impact.
Well, you've got to remember that simultaneous fire exists. So,
Yeah.
while disable power regulator doesn't do anything now, if it was a weapons failure,
True.
that would be... Or even a blind. Hey, there we go. There's a crit through onto Wedge. Bye-bye to your hull upgrade. And it's a direct hit.
I mean, if there's any pilot you want to take out, I feel like Wedge is fairly top of the list.
I mean, that like his ability and the outmaneuver combo, being I6,
it really neutralizes the TIE's like one advantage that they have is the 3 agility.
Yeah. So if we can, we have marksmanship with ISB, so that is good. Ideally, looking to see if we could either get damage through, getting damage through, and potentially stripping that focus. Nice.
Double crit. Okay.
We still got shields, but nice.
Shields are still up.
We're starting to get some damage in. Let's see, does Magna have bullseye?
It's going to be close.
It's going to be so close. I really hope she does, because a heavy laser cannon right now would be ideal. I think oh no, it's Esege to shoot first, because Ben has initiative, and there are 3. So.
Looks like shooting forward? Back?
I missed the direction. I think backwards, because Magna does not have focus. Would make more sense. But okay, we're gonna keep everyone in suspense. Black Squadron does have,
I mean, range 1 into Garven, which is probably at the moment the other main target you've got.
Yeah.
His crit ability is being a nuisance.
That is very, very good. And
but do you spend it if you know you're going? I think you do.
Hold on, no, is that actually gone? Oh, sorry, yeah. Esege's ability is to move that over.
Yeah.
I was getting confused. And yes, I should have changed that hit to a crit, because you should make sure you're doing good tricks. Oh, that's not bullseye.
Oh, it's not. It's just down the. That's unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate. A heavy laser cannon shot right there would have been...
You're doubling your dice with that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Even that one doesn't get through.
Rubbing salt into the wounds there. going into turn 6, we have another power up come in at that
That's
top
going to be
corner.
a trickier one for Ben to pick up at the moment.
Yes, it is going to be a bit harder to pick
Yeah,
up, but
just
they won't go away.
If he does a fairly fast maneuver with Esege and slams, can he use advanced slams to pick it up? Does he have to use it?
You pick it up as you go over it. It's not an action to pick it up.
Okay, so that.
If you go over the obstacle, you get it.
And now
So,
we have Night Beast joining us.
yes, Night Beast with elusive and marksmanship has joined us now.
Which one is Night Beast? There's so many types.
Night Beast.
Bring it up now. After you execute a blue maneuver, you may perform a focus action. So good action economy when you're not in the way.
Unfortunately, you can't put targeted computer on it because he only has a double talent slot, which is a shame. It would be nice to have the double one shot, but yet got in the way of.
I mean, I like the elusive on him because of his ability working well with blue maneuvers, so you can kind of alternate him.
Yeah, absolutely. But it looks like we've got bump from ISB, bump from Magna. Magna took damage off the bump, which is unfortunate.
It is. Oh wow, that just went past the tie.
It is trying to cause those bumps on the rebels. Not been easy. They've sort of been able to quite accurately determine what I'm trying. Oh no, there we go. Spoke too soon. Corran Horn has bumped. What was he trying to do? Is that a one bank there by the look of it?
It's one something, so yeah. We probably didn't really get bumped by too much.
No. Alright, but here we go for the 3 Talon roll.
Oh, I thought that was Wedge moving now, so how the hell has he done that?
That would be an impressive move if he had managed that.
Wedge has done a slide.
Side sloop.
That's the one.
Side sloop. Cool. Well, side slip, sorry. Cool maneuver. Don't see it very often, obviously. I think there's about 3 or 4 ships that actually have access to it.
And to be honest, they confuse me figuring out the right way to dial it in. So
yeah, essentially just think of it like a barrel roll with that template is the best way to think of it. But we are straight into the shooting. Here is Wedge going to try and be very brutal.
Well, it's spend the lock. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, 3 hits. So
would be goodbye to the last Black Squadron ace.
And that is wave 2 complete. Black Squadron ace now down. Oh no, so the ISB
still got the Jingoist.
Yeah, we've still got 1 Jingoist. But that is 7 ships down at this point. And a lot of angry rebels looking at Magna and Night Beast.
Also, a lot of fairly healthy rebels. I think the initiative difference that Ben has definitely helped him.
Oh, that's Magna down.
You quite a lot of shots.
Yeah, being able to out initiative has been very handy for Ben. Obviously, as we work up the waves, not always going to be working in Ben's favour, but right now, yeah, it is helping out. As well, I think not being able to really get those shots in the same space every time has been tricky. So obviously, if I could have the damage we got on Garven, the damage we got on Esege, if that could have been focused onto Wedge, that might have helped taking 1 gun off the board.
Yeah.
Because obviously, for me, I think that if you've got the opportunity to take an entire ship off the board, not only do you score points for that, do you deny your opponent another gun. So that's always my preference, and it doesn't always pan out. Like right now, I've got nothing to shoot at Wedge. If Night Beast survives, I will probably be trying to go into Esege because he's the only thing we've got. So,
yeah,
with Nightbees, anyway,
range
I
0
think
or shots through a debris cloud at range 3. Yes.
yeah, I think you gotta go the range 0. And plus, Gavin is fully healthy with a focus. I know that Esege can use the focus at 0, but isn't going to get the opportunity, so that's 1 damage through, which is...
Shielding on them. Okay.
Finally. That's 7 points of damage I've managed to put through so far.
Now remind me, at
Compared
what point does the boss wave come in?
They will come in at wave 8. So we've got 2 turns to go until the boss wave will come in.
And are they spawning randomly, or do you choose where those ones spawn in?
They follow the same rules as well, so you'll roll to determine in that round where they appear.
I wasn't sure if it was going to be different for it being the boss.
We decided to go with the randomized version.
Yeah, that's fine.
Seems pretty fair to me. I mean, you are getting 3 Battle of Gavin pilots.
Oh, I mean, yeah, spend one of your focuses, but man, Gavin again. Don't have a crit. They didn't get through, but still.
It's such an efficient ability because you just have to be pointing in the right direction. Yes, and Nightbeast is going to get the marksmanship trigger, which is going to be very handy.
I didn't get to fire off the heavy laser.
Yeah, just the one. And the evade. I finally get the shields now, and then can't get the evade. That is unfortunate.
Well, who have we got coming in now? We've got 2 new pilots for the Empire. We got Erika Kell and the Battle of Yavin Dark Curse.
Yes. So Erika is a TIE fighter that can take missiles, which is fun, and her ability, which obviously works with that quite well, after you fully execute a maneuver, you may acquire a lock on an enemy ship in your bullseye.
Action economy, always a good ability. And then Dark Curse has the tarot card with Yavin stuff on. What does it do?
There is a lot to Dark
defend. The attacker's dice can't be modified. Okay, so he's got the same ability that he always had. Yeah.
So some of them stuck with the same abilities, which is quite good. So he's got Ruthless and Precision Ion Engines, and he's a TIE fighter. He's an I-6, 4 health TIE fighter.
I think I-6 is really going to help the Empire out here.
Yes. It's going to give a little bit more... It's going to give Ben something to think about, to be like, oh, actually, I can't just sort of go in and steamroll now. I've got to be careful that Dark Curse might be able to get some shots in on...
Also, despite the randomness, we have once again spawned in on the usual side.
Yes. I think we've had, what, 1 spawn on the Rebel side so far?
Yeah. I mean, it still mixes things up a little bit.
Yeah, it's all a dice game.
Also not knowing.
Yeah, I mean, there were times in game 1 where I was like, I'm glad it's my side, and this is a really advantageous position to put myself in, so it works out well. But here there's a little bit more chaos to it.
I like this positioning from Ben for Garven. Just get behind everyone, but keep the arc pointing in to hopefully trigger his ability still.
Yeah, very, very good. Very powerful. I do like it. And also, I like E-Wings. You don't see them enough. And, I mean, he's 5 points with 10 loadout. So he's not too bad, to be honest. I quite like that.
Now, with Erika being Initiative 3, are you just going to go, oh, I have a shot proton rocket, or are you trying to save that for someone specific? It definitely feels like Ben is
Whoever,
saving a lot of his munitions for Vader.
yeah. For me, I'm basically going, right, does anyone end up in my bullseye? If so, they're getting procketed. Ideally, I'd like to be able to sort of line it up so that I get the target lock as well, if possible, but long run, if they're in my bullseye, I'm going to try and use it. I need all the help I can get right now. A 5-dice shot would be amazing. A double-modded 5-dice shot with marksmanship, the kind of thing I want to be throwing out there. But Dark Curse is now coming under fire, and this is... Oh no, it's not Dark Curse. They're all just going in onto ISB.
I was going to say they're modifying dice, aren't they?
Yeah, poor ISB.
Oh. Now,
Yeah,
as
Dark
the,
Curse.
as the Empire player, do you get to modify the suggested ships? The ships in the list?
For the Empire,
Yeah.
if you want to tweak them, absolutely. I mean, this isn't, obviously, this is just we've set down a set of rules, but they can.
Oh yeah,
be
people are
tweaked.
free to play what they want. But
if you decided you wanted
to
to
the rules that you're putting in place, you're saying is like keep the same pilots, but you can fiddle with upgrades.
If you want to fiddle with upgrades, if you even want to fiddle with the pilots, maybe you decide that you have 2 waves of TIE fighters, and then you change the last wave for interceptors. It's up to you. I mean, it's just more of this is a template for people to go, actually, I want to have a bit of a laugh and see what we can do. We've been trying to cook it up in our brain for a while. We've been like, I want to try this, and finally got round to actually putting pen to paper and putting it together. Did the game against Wes. It's like, actually, we could tweak it a little bit. Now playing it against Ben. And you know what? We feel that it sits in quite a nice space. I'd like to see what the other factions would do.
It's less of is it overall balanced? Probably not. But as who can get the highest score against the Swarm kind of a game, I think it works really well.
Yeah. That is essentially it. It's a...
Have you got what Wes scored to hand?
I will need to double check that. I believe Wes scored...
Whilst you're looking up that, we have a direct hit. That is a very mean shot. Oh my word. Look at all that damage.
Yeah, just having a quick look now, see if I can find that information. I believe that Wes scored 23 points, I want to say. So already yeah. Just finding that.
Although for scoring, would you then also have to try and consider how many points the Empire has as well? Like, do you deduct that?
You could do, actually. That is a definite option of saying, well, actually, the Empire did this well, so do you take that into account? That's a good shout. I hadn't considered that.
Oh, a little bit of damage going through on the K-Wing there, I think, was it? No?
Not yet. K-Wing is still at 6 health.
Oh no, spin focus, okay. I think.
Oh, but we have reached turn 8, guys, so the big boys are coming in. Wes scored 24 points. Okay. In the end. The Empire managed to score 20 as well, so it was a much more closer game. But now this is where things are going to get a lot more interesting.
I think that's, for you, a very good starting position. Like, that side of the board is behind a lot of the rebels. You got enough room to maneuver. Your own ships aren't in the way.
Yeah.
It seems pretty good for you. There's also an extra upgrade on the board, but again, not in the best spot for Ben to pick up.
No, again, potentially Esege could pick it up, but as to is Esege the one you're going to want to pick that up with? I don't know.
There's some that like regain a charge, and Esege doesn't have any, so that would not work.
We would obviously with that change. He would re-roll that to see if he gets a a hit or a shield, because again we know that not everything's going to have charges. I mean, Wedge doesn't have charges.
There's so many ships for the Empire that the symbols for Darth Vader's overlay is broken.
Yes, it would appear they did break. But
he's that strong, he's even broken the overlay.
Yeah. Again, with obviously the Empire side, I'm doing that manually, so clearly this is where a case of making sure you double check what you're doing, but in all honesty,
I mean, we know what they are. Look at the colours. You got 3 hull,
the colours
3
are right.
3 force.
Yeah. So, and again, Vader is on the board. We've got Backstabber, we've got Maul of Mythal, Afterburners. Backstabber and Maul of Mythal work really nicely as well, because if they have either the other one or Vader in either of their side arcs, they get an additional attack die.
Yeah, I think this... It's kind of like a build-up, get enough points until this wave happens, and then you're like, right, now there is a real fight on our hands. And it kind of depends on how good you've been at avoiding taking damage until now, and I think Ben's done a pretty good job of that. I mean, he's still got all of his ships.
Yeah, I mean, he's still got all of his ships, and I think I worked out earlier, he's taken a total of 8 hits. 3 on Esege, 1 on Garven, and 4 on Wedge, because he had the hull upgrade.
The one time Wedge moving after that lock is... Well, actually, no. The lock is on Garven. Oh,
the
okay.
lock is on Garven.
A smart move from Ben. I was going to say, like, locking onto Wedge and then having move away, not great, but Ben thought about that.
Yeah, I looked at it, was like, you know what, Garven, Wedge is going to move. I want to focus, so... Obviously, got my advanced targeting computer and a reroll here.
And a force.
And the force. So...
Finally going to start seeing some real damage get through, I reckon.
Yeah. There we go. Force spent there. Which, I mean, if we think about the force, is basically a focus, right? Does have a focus there, which is frustrating, but that is...
Gavin.
Yeah, the token is spent, which does now tee up for Backstabber and Maul of Mythal to try and get in and do some damage.
Yeah, although quite a few of Ben's list is kind of out of position at the moment. Like, Corran maybe has a range 3 shot on Dark Curse.
About it.
Who's that?
Airen doesn't have a shot by the look of it.
Wedge maybe has an obstructed shot into Night Beast. And
it looks like it is obstructed into Night Beast.
A bit of a kill box between what's that, Wampa and Irika. And maybe Dark Curse as well. And maybe just in range 3.
It would be quite nice. I mean, getting some good shots in there. If Dark Curse could strip one of those focus tokens. Oh, that's a big hit there, though.
That is
into Night Beast, who is getting the range 3 and obstructed bonus, so negating almost what Wedge was doing to him. Still having 3 dice instead of the 5 he would have had.
Yeah, I mean, initiative 2, you're probably not going to have a token by the time you shoot.
Yeah. I mean, you've got elusive there just in case, but
True.
Here we go. Maul of Mythal getting the extra dice because Vader is in its side arc.
Oh.
And does very poorly. That is...
Although,
gets it through, though.
it's one through, okay.
Is helpful. Yeah, out of range for the spend of the focus for Esege, and
Yeah, I think for the most part,
that's unobstructed.
Ben's done pretty well with his positioning. I would say, except for Esege, because for their ability, they've maybe gone too fast.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to utilize Esege's ability. Those green dice are going to destroy their code. Yeah, Esege hasn't really been able to use their ability that much, but it has kited a few of the TIE fighters away from the more offensive ships, though. So, ooh, and you can't modify that because of Dark Curse.
Dark Curse, isn't it?
So having locks on Dark Curse doesn't help. Because rerolling is still modifying your dice.
I remember one time I had a game, I think it was in version 1 against Dark Curse, and we were playing without a timer, and I just could not kill him. I kept rolling poorly, I couldn't modify anything, and he just kept flying around the board. It took ages.
I have had games like that where having a timer is the one thing that's actually made the game bearable.
I suggest having a timer.
We still do in store, to be honest.
I mean, now we've got also the turn counter, so that helps too.
Yeah. Oh, weapons failure on Night Beast.
Oh, Night Beast.
And a console fire.
Oh, the console fire might kill him.
We'll still get to shoot, though, if it's still around, because it's still in that...
I mean, at the moment, I think it was that Gavin only has the one shot into him, so we'll see if he slaves. Probably not. That's going to be a heck of a roll.
Yeah, X in the chat for Night Beast.
No.
Oh, yes, Night Beast is very down, and that is... The last damage card has been drawn, people.
Oh, it was after the boss wave. Oh, it's just out.
Just out. But the last damage card has been drawn. The rest of the damage cards have been put back in.
Oh,
that is... Oh my god, how many damage cards on there?
So was that Gavin triggering his ability on himself?
Yes, because it doesn't... It's 0 to 3.
Fair enough. Wow, okay.
So, yeah,
I always just assumed that it was just for allies.
Well, it's one friendly ship. It doesn't say another friendly ship.
Yeah?
You're friendly to yourself. In fact, it doesn't actually have 0 to 3. It just says in your forward arm, which would obviously denote that it has to be within range 3. Yeah. But, yeah. It is pretty good. There was a roll there for something that I was too busy looking. Oh, damage engine onto Esege there is what we just had. Okay,
that's a pretty good crit to land on such a unmaneuverable ship.
Yeah, it doesn't have, again, as I said, doesn't have a great dial. Really relies on that slam to get around the board, and the bow tie turret as well. Oh, come on. You don't need to put that many crits in. That was Esege at range 1.
This is into Wampa, I'm guessing.
Into Irika, by the look of it. Hull breach.
No, that's... Oh, is it?
Direct hit.
Well, Wampa's disappeared on the overlay.
Oh, so it was into Wampa, put the cards in the wrong place, so yeah.
Yeah, oh, there we go, yeah. The cards on the table went to Irika, but Wampa is there. Okay.
So Wampa didn't even get to shoot.
I mean, again, I think it's the initiative that's really making a difference here. But it does mean you're getting a few more ships.
We now have 2 I5s. We have Scourge and Howlrunner. Scourge with Swarm Tactics, Marksmanship, and Target Computer. Howlrunner with Predator and Targeting Computer. And Howlrunner is
great.
What is it?
Yeah. While a
While
friendly
a
ship
friendly ship at range 0 to 1.
performs a primary attack, that ship may re-roll one attack dice. A lot of ships around Hellrunner, who is the red marked one, gets a free re-roll.
Yeah. It's why back in the day, when you saw TIE Swarms, Hellrunner was the first ship you selected, and you just kept Hellrunner in the back row, in the middle of 6, so that it was the last one you wanted to try and shoot at, just to pass those re-rolls around. And it works for themselves as well, because it's one a friendly ship, not another friendly ship.
Also, I feel like in version 1 it was limited to just TIE fighters. Or am I thinking of someone else?
I can't remember. Version 1 obviously
you know what?
such a long time ago.
I might be thinking of Iden Versio. Yeah, her thing specifies TIE fighters. Okay, that was what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. You know, I've very rarely flown the Inferno squadrons.
If you fight all of them together, they're really good.
Yeah.
As they should be. Much like here, we've got Rogue Squadron mostly working together with a bit of help from Red Leader and Cracken.
I mean, doing great on 31 points at the moment in coming into turn 9.
Having all of his ships.
That in itself, I mean, we got to turn 9 for myself and Wes, and at that point we kind of called it. But we have carried on here.
Are there any more ships available to the Empire at this point, or is that all of them now?
There is one more ship left available. So Irika is from Wave 3. So we have one more ship after Irika, and we may see that. We'll have to see.
She still has some rockets.
Yep. She still has an... Oh, Vader! That's in the recloud.
Oh, Vader.
So close as well. That's annoying. But you know what? It happens. So... if I'd have gone a little bit faster, I would have a 4 would have cleared that. But
again, like a lot of main ships at the moment are all just sort of in a bit of a conga line on the left-hand side there.
I mean, yeah, very much of a conga line. I mean, a bumped conga line as well. So,
I mean, when they turn in for the attack, they're going to be a threat. But for now, they're not doing anything.
The problem is I can't really take advantage of it.
Well, no, but you can get into these
other ships,
probably.
Yeah. But let's see. This is a obstructed shot, range 3 into Wedge. No, he can modify his green dice. Can't modify an attack.
Okay.
2 hits from Dark Curse. Let's see this go through.
Who's you gonna get?
He's got the focus. Does he want to save that for an attack on Vader, right? Take 1. Nothing else is going to shoot at
for the sake of a range 1 shot into Vader, I think I take the damage.
Yeah, I would as well. If it was me.
Here's what Ben decides, though.
I think he's having a look and seeing what else has a potential shot at Wedge, and he's taken the damage.
Does it?
At most, Scourge might have a obstructive range 3, but that's not where Scourge is going to want to shoot. But I think that's too far away. But both Mauler Mythal and Backstabber do not have a shot, so it's going to be Wedge.
Yeah, range 1 into a tokenless Vader, so only the Force.
Oh, that's a really poor shot.
Vader only with the 1 evade dice, though.
Yeah. The damage will go through. Just the 1 damage goes through on Vader.
I feel like this is the first shot we've had in a while that Gavin hasn't triggered as well.
Yeah, there's not been many where Gavin hasn't been able to trigger. So
Well, it looks like there's
as-
more shots going into that K-wing.
Yeah, as well with Vader, he does have hate on him as well, by the way.
Oh,
There's
okay.
battling after one, so gaining a force back anyway.
Reroll for Howrunner.
Reroll for Howrunner, hit crit.
Nice.
That's disappointing. So range 3 obstructed there, getting the bonuses. Is that obstructed as well?
We will tell by the dice.
Looks like it is. There's still 3 dice there.
Double checking the wording. I think it does work on.
It does, because it's a friendly ship at range 0 to 1, not
Same
another
wording
friendly
as,
ship.
Gavin. Okay. Oh,
Hit
it's a
crit
crit.
again.
Oh no, it does have the focuses. Just can't see
Yeah,
behind
it's
the
got the focus, so
it does.
well, you know what? Focus spend, that's better than nothing.
We've got a choice of many targets here.
Yes. Now, looking at it, Wedge would have been ideal. Garven is probably the best option.
I think
what damage is out there, Garvin's good, but he's
the only one over there with a token.
Yeah, I would say probably go into.
Although if they both got unobstructed into Gavin.
No.
I said Garven and Gavin. Damn it.
It's easy. I think going into Gavin is probably the best because he's the best piece on the board for supporting.
Yeah.
There. So getting additional dice for having Mauler there. Oh, hit crit.
But look at all these green dice.
Oh, I've seen green dice. Yeah.
You can. Yeah. I don't think you want to crit. Although you got shields.
Still got 3 shields. I would take it and save that focus.
Although, because you're only attacking Dark Curse and you can't modify against him, so maybe just spend it when you know you can prevent damage.
Oh, am I changing target and going to Corran? That might be a bad idea. Should have kept going into Gavin.
I mean, you got damage through.
Got 2 damage through. Let's see where that's going.
I think it was Corran.
It was into Gavin. It was into Gavin. Okay. That's I think I would have been switching targets would have felt a bit silly there.
Yeah.
But let's see, can Dark Curse just say no to everything? Green dice don't help in attack. Oh, he stole one of my green dice as he was grabbing his reds. So just the one?
Nope.
Plenty of greens. Plenty of MAs there.
How many points is Dark Curse?
4 points.
You know what, for an Initiative 6 pilot with a really annoying ability that keeps him on the board for so long, that's really good. I know he doesn't have the best health, but... Well, actually, he's got 4 hull.
4 hull, and he's got Ruthless, which can be brutal, but Precision Iron Engines is actually quite a fun one as well.
That's a good ship. Good pilot.
Yeah. Yep, spend my focus.
I finally got damage to it. Oh, no, never mind.
Yeah. I mean, he's an expensive TIE fighter. When you think the most TIE fighters are like 2 or 3, but 4 health, great ability. 4 points is pretty solid. Oh, we do get a damage through on Dark Curse. It is a crit.
Thanks once again, the Gavin Darklighter.
Yep.
I think at this point we call MVP.
Oh, he is such an MVP. I mean, I've
so
played him a couple of times.
That have been a nuisance for your Empire Swarm.
Yeah. I mean, he's like the ultimate marksmanship card, but with a gun attached to it, essentially. Oh, getting those evades on the K-Wing is starting to get a bit annoying, but we do get the crit through, which is fuel leak.
Okay.
Not bad time to get it when he's got 4 hull left.
Yeah, it's always this point when you land a fuel leak or a hull breach.
Like,
well, they're only on 1 health left anyway, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
firing out the back into, I think, Erica.
Makes sense. Catching at range 1. Also, if he can take Erica out now... Oh, actually, Erica will still shoot, but...
Okay, just one round.
Does she? No, she's not going to take it purely because she doesn't have rockets right now. So,
that's true.
And that was the last shot Erica had already shot. So we are moving in to turn 10.
Wow.
31 points so far. Ben is about halfway through all these ships.
It feels weird to say he's only halfway. He's destroyed so many already, but I guess there's just a lot.
As I said, there's 63 points of ship available.
Wow.
We've got one TIE fighter left that we haven't seen so far, which is the Wave 4 for Erica. Everyone else has been whittled down so quickly.
Oh, does get the bullseye.
Does get the bullseye this time. Just a reminder, with the caches, they cannot be picked up by the Empire. They are, we call them rebel caches, but obviously they are challenger caches, essentially.
Have you got a list of what those can do? Because so far we've only seen the hull upgrade.
Yeah, so it's on the actual rules that we've got in the description, but basically you roll and you can either get a shield, a hull upgrade, or a charge. And again, as we said, if you don't have anything that requires charges, you re-roll it for either a shield or a hull upgrade, and they can take you over the maximum you would normally have in that respect. So
I like the simplicity of it. It's not like you get this specific upgrade, because then it's like, well, that doesn't really work with pilot anyway. It's just one of these things, either health or a charge.
We wanted to make it quite simple. We've done games in store where there are random upgrades on the table. I think when we do the Mario Kart, you can get random upgrades on there. We've done Hunger Games before, where there are crates on the table.
I feel like the Hunger Games, though, you want a variety of stuff, because that's what Cornucopia and that is all about.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we did Hunger Games, we ended up having like ships running around that. I can't remember what ship it was, but it was like the most unassuming ship running around, eventually with afterburners and a stealth device. And it was like a space tug or something. We might have to do that again at some point, actually. It's like an alternate version of Aces High. It's really fun. And Vader is bumped again. I am not good at flying Vader, it would appear.
Oh dear. Has he tried
as well?
I hear that.
He couldn't spin. He landed on a rock.
Yeah, he bumped. He can't do an action.
Yeah. But again, I would like to see what other factions would do. I can imagine if you were to do this, would you go for your resistance? I
would try and come up with something resistance. Yeah, mostly because we've now seen a couple rebel lists have a go at it, and they've done well. I mean, clearly Ben is doing, I would say, exceptionally at this point.
But I can imagine if you're doing resistance,
try running like maybe Rain the Falcon, because I do like that, and also seeing a large base ship in this situation, I'm kind of curious how that would go.
Yeah. So Erica is down before she gets to shoot her rockets.
Oh, not even the simultaneous fire.
I said to Ben, I was like, "Don't do it, Ben. Let me have this."
I've lined up my shot.
Yeah, I finally lined up my shot, and he just went, "Yeah, bye-bye."
Okay, well, your last TIE fighter is showing up next turn, but for now we do have Vader. I mean, at least he can shoot.
He does have a shot. There's no advanced targets computer on there, though, which is a bit of a shame. And that's a terrible, terrible, terrible shot, Vader.
Vader is definitely not, he's the antithesis of heroic, so definitely not got that upgrade.
Yes. Yeah, I'd love to see what the resistance could do. Ray could be quite interesting, actually. Ooh. That is some damage through. Garven is shields down now. Well, that's Airen that is shields down, sorry.
Okay.
So the damage is starting to go through. Maybe 2 turns left. Can I get a kill?
Well, I mean, Dark Curse has a range 1 into Wedge, and Wedge I don't think has any tokens.
No,
And might be too far away to borrow a focus.
I believe he is, and I could just say spend the focus and not care.
I think to get Wedge off the board, you do, right?
Yeah. I think I was looking to see if I had Ruthless or anything, but I don't know why I'm checking for Ruthless. Just spend that focus. I think I kind of want to say the focus defense, but just spend that focus. Get Wedge off the board, get some points, get a kill. 10 turns it's taken me.
Double blank.
Emphatically,
Doesn't even matter if
Wedge
he's
down.
The borrowing tokens. He's gone. But he
Yay.
until turn 10. He's had a big impact.
Yeah. I mean, again, when you say it, you sort of say it like that. You're like, oh yeah, you didn't get your first kill until turn 10. Obviously, we have to caveat that with, in the first 2 turns, I had 8 points of ships versus 25. So
looking back on it, did Ben actually trigger Outmaneuver?
he did a couple of times.
Did he? Okay, I must have missed
There were
that.
a couple of TIE fighters that were rolling. When he shot at, I think it was Wampa, through the obstacle at range 3, I only had 3 dice because Outmaneuver and Wedge was triggering.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's 5 green dice. So that's
Yeah.
What, range 3 through a rock was it?
I think it
Or was
might
that-
actually have been range. The quad naddies.
Wow, you don't see that often.
You do not see. I mean, naddies are rare enough. A quad naddies, that's like a 4-leaf clover in
And
it.
also, I don't ever really fly 3 agility ships, so I rarely even see 4 green dice.
I mean, I fly a fair few. I mean, again, Empire is my main faction, I would say. It's one of my favoured ones. So I tend to live and die by at least 3 green dice. So until someone brings Wedge with Outmaneuver,
Sure.
which is just rude and should never be done.
I mean, it does mean he doesn't have other upgrades.
Yeah, Outmaneuver is very expensive. I mean, back in the day when you weren't limited by the loadout, you were just, this pilot is X amount of points and you could just add the things on it. You would have like, people would double down and be like Outmaneuver and like other crazy stuff. You'd be like,
you fill every single upgrade slot you've got on
yeah.
certain ships, which can be fun. I think I had something like some ridiculous amount of points on a Ghost because it's got so many upgrade slots.
Yeah. I mean, that's when you could do like a 2-ship meta.
Yeah,
You'd be running the 2 fires parades,
allowed to run 2 ships. You have to have a 3rd.
which was fine by me. I always like to have. I kind of liked having 4 ships as kind of my baseline.
3
Like,
to 4
unless I was
is
just
where I'm at. If I ever fly 5 ships, I end up bumping myself. So probably would end up happening if I tried this Swarm game.
Yeah. Ooh, double crits, and that's on a range 0 as well. Oh,
I mean, that's
Go
still going
away.
to trigger the fuel leak, though.
it does. So that will be 2 damage going through regardless. The crit
And it
is.
depends on what that other crit is. Doesn't look like they're dead yet.
Damage sensor array.
So that's the can only perform focus action?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's disappointing for the one ship on the board with Perceptive Copilot, isn't it?
Yeah.
So of all the crits
So
to get, it's
frustrating.
like, sure, I'll take the... You may as well have started with it.
Yeah. Oh, it does it again. That K. I mean, I like K-wing, so it's nice
Oh,
to see
one
it
agility
surviving,
ship,
but-
though, to survive this long, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Perceptive Copilot has actually been.
It's a
Most of
really
it.
good upgrade.
Yeah.
It's
I
one of the few that's like, it's expensive, but it's really worth the points.
Yeah, there's a couple of spots I like. I like on a K-wing. Again, when you could have that and barrage rockets, you could have one for defense and one for barrage rockets. Really nice.
When you can re-synergize with another ability like Esege passing the tokens around, or pairing up with, is it Jin who can change one to an evade?
Yep, I was literally thinking that.
Yeah.
Jin Urso, having her add a Perceptive Copilot, Focus Evade is really strong. And we have Gideon Hask joining the board. This is a nice time for Gideon to join as well, because his ability, he gets to roll an additional dice if the defender is damaged. So
That's
looking at you, Esege.
not Corran, not Garven yet.
Not Airen yet, but Esege definitely gets the double.
Definitely. Okay, and everyone else is fairly close to doing it, but we're on turn 11.
We are on turn 11. It's 8 points to 34. So Ben currently is going into the high score slot.
I mean, there's also only been 2 of these.
There have only been 2 of these. So, and I would still say I'd like to see more games of this done. It's a bit of a slog to edit, but it's good fun to play. And
we're getting, I mean, at least towards the end of the video, this point, I don't know what the runtime is. But if you're still here watching along, let us know if you want to see more of this, and we will definitely get something organized.
And also, let us know which faction you would run. Which would you like to see go up against these type
like the whole list, maybe a few highlights of what you would maybe pick, but yeah, let us know what you would use against this onslaught of ties.
I mean, I think if I was going to do it, for a bit of a laugh, 25 points of defenders. I can only get 3 in, but 3 defenders and a couple other ships could be quite interesting. But
I feel like I would want to do something really silly and just go for like a bunch of really cheap ships with Deadman Switch.
Oh, a load of Z95s in
just fly the ties and just see what happens.
No, you do that. Was it Chewbacca? Did he have an ability when a ship died?
A friend died, I'll take another shot. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, could be fun. But no, I think I'd want to see. Well, that's a really annoying place for Gavin to end up, because I would have cleared that if it wasn't for him.
Yeah. Also, I saw, was it Gavin picked up a hull upgrade?
He did pick up a hull upgrade. He has 4 hull. He thinks he's a defender right now.
I mean, he might as well be.
Yeah. I mean, he has been very good.
Torpedoes. He's fired 1.
I mean, he's fired 1. He hasn't really needed to use them. I mean, plasma torpedoes are good against things with shields. I've only had 1 ship with a shield. So they're not. Yeah, plasma torpedoes isn't something I would put on if I was against this list.
They didn't have a shot.
Nope.
I've got to say, the Vader, like, for the amount of times you've flown Imperials, what's happening?
I actually don't fly the TIE Advanced very often. It's not
true. I guess it does fly quite differently to the rest of the Empire. It's quite a slow.
In comparison, yeah. I mean, for me, like, if I'm flying something that's slow, it's normally going to be like a bomber,
right,
or maybe the TIE Heavy.
Vader like a bomber.
No. So I mean, again, I tend to fly interceptors, phantoms, and like some of the faster ships.
There's a chance of taking out Esege.
I've got 2 ships to do it.
Oh, reroll.
Just power on a reroll.
Okay, it's 1. Do you have any tokens? No. Okay.
I've got no tokens. So I swooped.
Never mind.
Darn you, Esege. But we now have Scourge going into that Garven there. And I will say, you can't really see it, but the positioning of those 2 to miss those obstacles, that obstacle between them is... I was very pleased with myself. I'll run a reroll. Predator as well there. That'll be what that is. Oh, 3 hits going into Garven. Not enough to take him down, but it's
That's a
going to
lot.
give me some hope.
But also
That
that could have taken out. Oh no, he's further away. I'm thinking someone else. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's really good though.
But we've got a couple of shots. Oh, hit crit into.
Surely on turn
Esege.
11. No. Oh, what is? What? Okay, I know I
Okay.
said like a minute ago that Gavin is MVP, but Esege is like the survivor.
Esege is Defender of the Year. Defender of the Year. How has Esege survived
I don't know.
all of
I
this?
mean, they've
It's
still got
crazy.
what, Gideon to shoot at them?
Oh yeah, Gideon has still got a chance to shoot, and Gideon will have 3 dice. That is backstabber down to 1.
I mean, that extra health is paying off.
Yeah. If you are flying some of those, remember they've got the extra health. The amount of times I've forgotten about that
Well, yeah,
extra health point.
It's one of the weird things that got introduced with like the variants within the pilots. It's like, okay, so this one can take cannons, this one has extra health, and so on. It's
Right.
unusual differences.
We've got the range 2 with marksmanship, Deadeye shot.
Okay, you just need to see 2 hits.
2 hits. That's 3 hits. That is Esege down. It's taken me 11 turns, and I don't know how many dice, but Esege's now down. Happy.
Sounds like it.
2 ships in 11 turns, and I will say we did a lot of editing to make this video as viewer friendly as possible. This game took us over 3 hours.
I was gonna say, it looks like you've not even sped up planning phases, you've just edited them out.
They are
I think in some places
I think I did edit them out, and there was a lot of well, that's a bit of a dead space. So I've made this as I've trimmed this down as much as possible.
It's appreciated. Okay. What we got here? There's Gavin, okay. Spends his
Gavin, is that
focus.
its Dark
Use
Curse, I'm
ability.
assuming?
Oh, if it is Dark Curse, he shouldn't be able to do that then.
Oh, it must not be Dark Curse. It is.
Who's green? Scourge?
Oh, it's Scourge. Scourge has taken 2, but what are the
Fair enough. Rather than trying to randomly get damage on Dark Curse, take out the
damage sensor array?
Okay.
That was a plasma torpedo as well, so that's why it only it was a hit crit, because you cancel crits first on a plasma torp as well.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I mean,
Don't cancel crits first on that.
did not matter on this one. Structural damage.
Structural damage.
Into
And a wounded pilot.
Okay.
Yeah. No reinforcements for Scourge. He was a final wave ship, so that is it. Any ship now that dies will not be reinforced, mainly because we're actually into turn 12 now.
We are on the final turn. Vader has a lot of room to maneuver though.
Yeah, he does, but he's stressed.
I mean, what are his blues? Like a bank?
They're not great. They're not great, the blues on Vader. Again,
is he getting repositioning with the ion engines? I can't remember how that upgrade works.
So let's have a quick look. He doesn't have precision ion engines. He's actually got marksmanship, hate afterburners. So clearly, when I was editing things, that's got a little bit mixed up. But yeah, he's got marksmanship, hate, and afterburners. So he's got 1 and 2 bank, and the 2 and 3 straight are blues. So not ideal. He does not have a boost unless he does a 3 that has afterburners, but he's probably not going to want to do a 3 bank or a 3 hard to afterburners in, because he's still going to want. It's a real tough one.
I wonder if Ben is going to try and turn around to try and take out Vader.
Wouldn't blame him. Made us 7 points.
Yeah, he's 7.
So it would be a good shout. And Gavin has just picked up another one and got a shield. Gavin is basically back to full health. All that hard work.
And a shield. Wow, okay.
Yeah. Honestly, Gavin is definitely MVP. Esege is definitely he gets the challenge ring.
Well.
Yeah, he really did. I think if I was going to do this again against that list, probably would ignore Esege and just go somewhere else. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of landing on obstacles for my guys. That's Gideon on an obstacle, that's Mauler on an obstacle. I don't know if it's me or the pilot's getting tired at this point. But that is unfortunate. It's not going to be a lot of shots here. But still time for me to possibly steal a few kills.
I mean, Garven and Airen are both low on health. So
if I can take one more of them out, I would be kind of happy. Again, it's not about... If you're running the Empire side, I will say it's not about, obviously, how many points you score as such. It's about, obviously, giving your opponent a challenging run at it. And that's a great move there from Darklighter, avoiding the bump as well. It's about making it challenging and entertaining for your opponent and not just going, I've got TIE fighters, let's line them up for you. You still want to play it properly.
Oh yeah. And I think Ben's also done a good job of kind of forcing your hand into what you're shooting at.
Yeah, very much.
Damage was very clearly split throughout basically the whole game. You were
after about turn 3 he just went, yeah.
Because I think that's the problem Wes ran into in his game, is that he unfortunately had some ship early on.
He had his forces split into 2, and I was able to capitalize on that quite quickly, which made it a bit difficult. Oh, but Gavin is down. I do get another kill. Not necessarily final. Yeah, going to be final. I've got no shot on Airen there, and unless I do something... Yeah, no, that's probably my last shot. Oh, hold on. Mauler... The Backstabber has a shot on something. I couldn't see... I'm assuming 2 dice, that'll be onto Corran.
Yes.
And I get the final shield down on Corran. I'll take that. But now, can Ben sneak in a few more points? Backstabber has 1 health left. There's some easy points there.
Gavin like using the final homing torpedo.
Yeah, and I said, yeah, roll it.
Why not?
Because I was like, I'm not... Like, I could survive this. I was like, I could... you could have a poor roll.
I mean, that's not
like this.
Amazing.
And I can survive this. I don't survive this. Oh, hold on. I forgot. I do survive it. I've got, again, another focus hidden there. I do survive it. So sometimes homing missile, worth making them roll for it.
I mean, especially if you're on 1 health.
1 health, yeah.
You gotta gamble it.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been hilarious if we'd have got 4 crits and I'd gone, yeah, I'm definitely not surviving that now.
That could also have happened.
Yeah. So, let's see. Okay, Howrunner does have a shot into Gavin.
I mean, that's got to be some incredible shot, but...
Yeah, it's less than ideal.
This man at this point. I mean, hit crit. Okay. Never mind. What?
A 4-leaf clover of evades. Once again, quad naddies. Twice in a game.
How? Yeah, I was going to say, we had 4 natural evades twice now.
Yeah.
And again, we have had a lot of dice rolled.
Yeah, we have had a very large amount of dice rolled.
Okay, this is... I'm guessing the other way around.
Yep. No target lock. Oh, I think this is Dark Curse. And evaded.
Oh, I think that is that Corran into. Who's at the top there? Is that Mortar?
So that's Howlrunner is the red, and then Dark Curse. Oh no, so that would have been Corran into Backstabber.
And now I think it's Gavin into. I think.
Howlrunner.
Just because you can modify those. Oh,
Yeah.
Blanks.
Howlrunner blanks out.
We've had a lot of natural evades and now some misses.
A lot of blanks, but I think that could be getting close to it. Let's see. Airen would have shot. I think that might have been our last shot.
I think double check if Gideon has a shot.
Gideon is on obstacle.
Oh, he is. Of course.
But yeah, that is our last shot. A long old game, the full 12 rounds.
45 points for Ben. We'll figure out if we're going to deduct the Empire points or not, but that's still
I think
a very impressive thing.
Yeah, 45 points of a possible 63 there. 4 TIE fighters left
on the board.
Yeah, which is so crazy, but it's so much fun to play. And I just want to say thank you so much to Ben for joining me and playing that. It was a long game, but we had there's all my dead ships.
Oh wow, okay.
And there's Ben's. So yeah, it's a long game to play, but it's definitely good fun. But James, thank you very much for joining us. And again,
thanks for inviting me along to record another one of these.
No worries. We're going to get you on the table at some point.
Yeah, we should
as well, though. We'll figure out a good time for that. But in the meantime, guys, again, thank you all so much for watching. The details for how to actually set this up and play this are in the description below. We will actually have some real-life X-Wing coming to the channel very shortly. We'll be able to get back into the store, actually put some real models on a real table, so we'll have that for you very soon. But in the meantime, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.